It's time for Media Meltdowns, and Jimmy Kimmel's Trump-hating wife, Molly McNeely, wants you to know she's angry. Why? Because Donald Trump is president.
And I'm angry all the time, which isn't healthy at all. But I personalize everything now. When I see these terrible stories every day, I'm immediately mad at certain aunts, uncles, cousins who put him in power. And it's really hard. And
They're all nodding.
I wish I could deprogram myself in some way.
Just look at them nodding in awe. Now, Molly is also the head writer and executive producer of Jimmy Kimmel Live, which tells you a lot about her. Now, she's gone on this podcast, which is seriously called We Can Do Hard Things. And it's so Meghan Markle of her. I mean, look at Jimmy and Molly. Their net worth is estimated to be around $50 million, but they want you to listen to just how hard done by they are. And they're still upset that after a year has passed, Donald Trump won, and they're still angry about it. In fact, Molly has opened up about how badly she begged and begged her family members not to vote for Donald Trump, to the point she's now had to cut ties with her family.
I've sent many emails to family right before the election saying, I'm begging you, here's the 10 reasons not to vote for this guy. Please don't. And I either got ignored by 90% of them or got truly insane responses from a few.
Yeah, she goes on to encourage other families to cut off Trump-supporting family members or friends. And what do the podcast hosts have to say? Well, I think what Molly is doing is phenomenal.
That's so honest, and I feel like no one has ever said, at least to me directly,
no one said that,
the thing that, because that happens to me too. When
Wow.
when a headline comes about a certain thing, I get mad at personal people too. I think
Really?
Yes. Like if there's an anti-queer thing that comes out, it's like our brains have to focus on people because otherwise it's just this big boogeyman thing.
Brains can't focus, imploding. What Molly said was groundbreaking according to those podcast hosts, and they're now bonding over how triggered they are by the millions of people that voted for Donald Trump and that they know some of those people are related to some of those people. And if this podcast couldn't be any more insufferable, Jimmy Kimmel, well, he speaks out and he tries to blame Donald Trump's win on people being lied to, not from him, but from other more successful media outlets.
If those outlets didn't exist, we wouldn't have this. I think people would evaluate things based on facts, but it's just...
They have Cousin Molly's Instagram, and I give them facts every day, and they just seem to be ignoring them, and that's what bothers me. Okay? So they can watch Fox News all day, but the hard part for me, it's a strange position to be in, is you personally know two humans in your life you're related to. Our jobs here, we don't tell lies. We tell jokes, but we are literally scouring the news every day.
I mean, just a few months ago, Jimmy Kimmel was lying about Charlie Kirk's murder and then pretended to cry when he was brought back on air, and he offered no apology. Now let's check in on the charming Jennifer Welch. She's starting to become a regular on this Media Meltdown segment because just weeks after applauding a woman who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk, she's now complaining that there are plenty of Republicans who are people of faith and have a strong connection with the divine.
I think a lot of the people that are involved in this movement are either psychopaths, sociopaths, they like it. I'm talking about Stephen Miller, right? And then you've got people that are religious addicts. And you guys, that is a real thing. Somebody can be an alcoholic, somebody can be a drug addict. A lot of people are religious addicts, and you can Google it and read about it. And these religious addicts, like all addicts, sabotage things. Their default setting is to break things and create collateral damage. And I think even on the Supreme Court, we have some religious addicts. And I think in the administration, we have a ton of religious addicts, Mike Johnson, etc., Marco Rubio. And they think, okay, I'm doing a lot of bad in my private life. I guarantee you Sam Alito's Google search history is full of a lot of all right? Has to be.
Yeah, the party of the left, party of inclusion. Here was Jennifer Welch on the night of Mamdani's electoral win, claiming that Americans have no culture except for multiculturalism.
Americans have no culture except for multicultural.
Well said.
And we need to teach people how to embrace that. These White people need to learn how to embrace it.
And who wants to guess how the leftist media described the violent Antifa-like protests that broke out the front of a sold-out Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley? Well, they described it as mostly peaceful.
Yeah, things have been lively here. While that Turning Point USA event is still happening inside, protesters have been out here for hours. You can see them still here behind me. They have been chanting, just a very, very lively scene out here. While things have been mostly peaceful, there have been some tense moments. Earlier this evening, there was a scuffle that broke out where two men started fighting. UC Berkeley police had to break up that interaction. Later, someone was throwing smoke bombs and a car backfired, leading some of the people who were protesting to run away.
Mostly peaceful, except for a bit of a scuffle. And let's play another clip of what actually unfolded that the media won't show you. And here's another clip of thugs mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. You're dead, homie. You're dead, homie. Yeah, that didn't make it on the left-wing news either. Instead, CBS wanted this student's voice to be heard, who described Charlie Kirk's legacy as vile and disgusting.
But other people are happy to be here for the event.
Turning Point USA should not be here, and they are like a fascist organization, and nobody here agrees with what they are saying. And obviously Charlie Kirk has been a big issue with like a lot of college campuses and people on college campuses. So we just think obviously I didn't really follow him a lot, but knowing what he did and knowing the things that he was saying, it's just like vile and disgusting. So we don't want to support his organization, and I don't think that the Berkeley chancellor should have let them come here.
Maybe she should start following Charlie Kirk's message and listen to a bit of what Charlie Kirk had to say. What about other leftist media outlets like CNN? The outlet that described the BLM protest as mostly peaceful as well, described Trump's assassination attempt as a fall. Well, according to CNN, Antifa-linked violence, it barely exists.
Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited. But that has not stopped Trump from blaming Antifa for just about every act of violence in America since he first got into office.
What about Jimmy Kimmel? How did he describe Antifa?
You understand, there's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone.
That's right. According to him, it just doesn't exist. And the thing is, these people claim they're telling you the truth. According to late-night host Stephen Colbert, shows like his are designed to tell you how to think.
I'm curious what you feel like the great affirmative case is for a show like yours.
Why should shows like mine continue to exist, or like Kimmel or Jimmy or whatever?
And I said everyone plays a great affection, which is why I'm saying
I said, why? Oh, we're like your friend who at the end of the day paid attention to the news more than you did. And you're aware of it, you just didn't do the detail work. We know more than you, is essentially what he's saying. And then we curate that back to you at the end of the day. But it's really more about how we feel about it, or I as the person who is the vehicle for that, how we felt about today. All those things that might have made you confused or angry or anxious or happy or surprised or something like that. I feel that way at the camera, or to the audience, really. I'm really performing for the audience, and the camera captures it.
Starting with CNN's Abby Phillip, who sat down with fired MSNBC host Joy Reid to claim that conservatives live in their own information bubble, suggesting that her job is to fight conspiracy theories.
Conservatives are living in a completely different information world than liberals. And breaking that down needs to be done. Because when you don't ever even hear the facts, it's hard to even know that you're wrong. And that happens a lot. I mean, half my job sometimes is knowing what the latest conspiracy is, so that if it comes up, I'm ready to address it. Because it happens a lot where people don't even know that what they're saying or what they've seen and believe is not true. And so that happens a lot. And I don't come away from that saying, what's the point of this? People are just saying false things. I think that one time that person brings up something that is debunked and false, and I debunk it at the table, might be the very first time that someone out there has heard an alternative point of view.
It is incredible that Abby said that with a straight face to Joy Reid, the woman who's compared Donald Trump to Hitler, who described Kamala Harris's election campaign as flawless, but actually peddled a very sick and deranged conspiracy theory that Trump's assassination attempt in Butler was staged.
We still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet, whether he was hit by glass fragments, whether he was hit by shrapnel. We don't have those details. We actually have no details from his physician, even though this man is still a Secret Service protected, and presidential candidate. We know almost nothing.